Hey y'all, it's Crystal. Welcome back to the channel. I hope that you're doing well, and I so appreciate you stopping by and hanging out for a little bit. And it's that time of week for me, the time for the weekly reading update. So let's hop right into what I got into for my reading last week. Had another pretty good week. I've finished a couple things, and I'm still in the process of reading a lot of things. So typical me. So let's get started. I did finish Geek Love by Katherine Dunn. I finished this basically right after the last week's weekly update, but I did make a whole sort of book chat video about this book, and I'll link that below if you're interested. If you hadn't watched it and you're interested, I just kind of go over these mixed feelings that I have about it now, because again, this was a reread for me, and this definitely hit me differently this time around, and gave me some thoughts and feelings. So, so I won't say too much more here, but I'm glad to have reread it for sure, so I could really, dive into what I thought I would come away with these mixed feelings. So, Geek Love, Katherine Dunn, finished. And I also finished Petals on the Wind by V.C. Andrews. This is, of course, part of the V.C. Andrews read along that Kelly Hooked on Books is hosting over on Instagram. Got a small little group of ladies that are reading it. What does one say about Petals on the Wind, really? It's like just when I couldn't think it could get more scandalous and cringy. V.C. Andrews said, "Hold my beer," and and gave us Petals on the Wind. So we're following the Dollenganger kiddos after the events of Flowers in the Attic, and they are trying to move forward with their lives, and lots of other more cringy things, particularly with the eldest daughter, Kathy, who is our main narrator, of this story. And, her sexual relationships with older men as a teenager, cringy things about her body. There's some things going on in this book. It's, I hate it's called like trashy, but it kind of is, and I think it's like a big soap opera, just with more sex. And then I think like heyday soap operas. When I think of like those late 80s soap operas, early 90s, think like General Hospital and All My Children, Young and the Restless. Man, I used to love those soaps, and it just reminds me, it's very soap opera, but like I said, heyday awesome soap opera stuff, you know what I mean? So yeah, it was fun, because you just have to go to these books knowing that what they are, I think, and sort of preparing yourself for the cringe fest that these at times are, and yeah, take it for what it is. But we'll see what book 3 brings us next month, because I just don't know what to expect anymore. So I did finish that. And then the last thing I did finish, I finished up one of my short story reads for the month, The Bloody Chamber by Angela Davis, and I flippin' loved this. I loved these stories. They are primarily sort of retellings of like fairy tales and like classic stories. So there's like a retelling of like Dracula, there's a couple of Beauty and the Beast, The Snow Child, Blackbeard's Wife, some wolf stories like Red Riding Hood, Puss in Boots, a couple others, but anyway, and told in a very atmospheric, gothic, often, sometimes just like gender bend, like in the Dracula story there's a countess, a lot of sort of sensuality and sexuality. I don't know, they're gorgeous writing, and I'm telling you, dripping with atmosphere. I was knocked off of my feet by these stories, and yeah, I don't really know what else to say, because they were just damn good. And yeah, I marked several lines in here where the language here, like I said, is just written exquisitely, I thought. So I'm excited to hopefully dive into some more Angela Carter at some point. She's just one of those authors that, you've heard about and I've just never read, kind of thing. So glad I jumped on this Vision of the Month read for Juan over at Plagued by Visions book club. It's not a book club, right? But anyway, I enjoyed it, and I think short stories were a good way to get started with Carter's work. So yeah, really enjoyed it. So those are the things I finished, and I've got a lot of things in progress. Before I forget, I did start Taste Like Candy, and I'm not too far in, but it's pretty fun so far. It's what the word I'm looking at? So we've got some senior high school girls that are going into their senior year of high school, and I guess there's this tradition of this sort of scavenger hunt that like an outgoing senior girl does for a handful of incoming senior girls. And I hadn't got to that part yet, but we're just about there, and the scavenger hunt is going to take place at this local sort of theme park carnival type setting. So I'm excited to get into the gory details that I think are just around the corner. And I'm still making my way, of course, through Ghost in a Black Girl's Throat by Calissa Ray, and I'm still loving this poetry collection. These are they're just good stuff. They're just good stuff. So I'm into section 3, which is the last section of the book. So I'll finish that up, and I'll probably do like a overall kind of chat about it on maybe a Poetry Thursday or something. And these are stunning poems, and I'm enjoying it. Books follow. All right, I did make my start on Bloodchild. This is a collection of stories from Octavia Butler. I read the first book, Bloodchild, or the first story, and it's so good. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. How much do I love Octavia Butler? Oh my god. So I'm very excited to continue on with the rest of these stories through the end of the month. There's not many stories in this book. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 7 stories and 2 essays, so it's not too much in here. I'll finish that for sure. I have House of Illusions by Ruby Jean Jensen. I am close to being finished. I've got maybe a quarter of the way left, and I'm having a lot of fun with this one. It is, it's set at a carnival. We've had some murders happening already, and creepy clowns. That's all I'm gonna say so far, but it's been pretty fun, honestly, and a couple times I'm like, I'm a little scared. I'm not like deathly afraid of clowns or anything like that, but they do give me the heebie-jeebies. And this one has like evil clowns, clowns with like droopy faces and scary to me. And just yesterday I made a start on Light of the Jedi by Charles Soule. I've gone a little off the TBR here and started this because I jumped onto a buddy read with Brad Proctor for this one. We started it yesterday and on the audiobook for it, and I got maybe a little under half-ish way through it yesterday, and I'm really enjoying this one. This is part of the new High Republic series that they started. And so this is set like a couple hundred-ish years before like the Phantom Menace. So, characters, it's not, we're not getting any of the characters that we know from Star Wars, you know what I mean? But it's still, of course, enough in here to let us know that we are in Star Wars. The Jedi in here are like full-fledged here. There are tons and tons of Jedi Knights and Jedi Masters around the universe or galaxy, whatever you want to call it. And their power is, at its peak here. But again, there's still some familiarity here. Of course, the Jedi themselves, but there's the Republic that's at Coruscant, and there's a Chancellor, and so that sort of stuff is still very familiar. Things like that. So yeah, I'm really just digging this so far. It's been really fun. So, and I'm glad to have started some of these new High Republic books. I've got a few out now that I need to get going on. And one thing I like that they do with these books, they make them all age. Like there's a couple, 2 or 3 out now that are more adult oriented. They've got some YA leaning ones, and they've got even some middle grade ones that really, I can kind of make it accessible for everyone to enjoy a Star Wars story. I mean, what's not to love about that? Let's see. I did get my Nightworms. I just got that yesterday. I got a copy of Waith by Samantha Kolznick and Bag of Bones by Christopher Golden. I've never actually read anything by Christopher Golden. I think he's got a bunch of books out there, so I finally get to try one. I like this cover. It's like snowy trees and this road. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so we'll see what that's all about. And I think that's about it. I'm trying to think. I think I picked up a couple ebooks, but I don't remember what they are now. Sorry. I always forget to talk about ebooks I picked up, but anyway. What else have I gotten into? Did I watch anything this week? I don't think I did. So I've got nothing to update for entertainment. Yeah. Just some trailers that come out. The new Doctor Strange trailer looks pretty fun. Anyhoozle, I guess that'll do it. My short and sweet update today. So let me know what you got into for your reading this week. Have you dug into the High Republic books yet? I'd love to know. Yeah, let me know what you read last week. Have you read V.C. Andrews? Let me know. Again, I hope that you're doing really great and having an awesome day. And as always, I appreciate you stopping by, spending some time with me. I am always so grateful. And that'll do it for me today. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye, friends.